All right, welcome back. USPS doesn't always deliver early. In fact, they rarely do, but I sure am glad that they did on this one. And let's go ahead and get it opened up. This is an exciting one. It's somewhat of the culmination of my Demco journey. This right here, by the way, is the Demco AD20.5 in a shark's foot, just the standard rivalry with Austin A, but boy, does it do a good job of these utility cuts, and I'm constantly saying it on this channel. I'm going to take this one off the screen to protect personal information as I make this opening. That it just is a very good knife for that job, and I don't think that there's one that is going to do a better job for a long time for me. All right, got this open. Let's see what we got here. This is a long time coming. This knife really represents months of work trying to find this knife or one that's sort of similar to it, so I'll talk about that. But let's just jump right in and see what we got. We got a little bit of damage on the box there, and this is definitely a collector. Here it is, the Demco AD20 3V clip point with the titanium scales, and you can see that's got the 3V written on there by hand. This is the if you've seen the AD20S, it's a little bit of a different box, but also from the custom shop. So this represents the AD20, and let's get it out of the package. Luckily, got a nice clean opening there. Always a little bit tricky with these Demco boxes. There it is. How I have waited for this day. So if you're familiar, the AD20 is the full size, the AD20S is the smaller one. Look at that shark lock. That thing is dark. I have not seen that came like that before. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, look at that freaking hunk of knife. That is badass. So I've been able to source a handful of these AD20s, but never yet the titanium textured AD20. And this is an early variant when they're still making them in the, what were they doing? So they were doing 3V, which they may still do, but not as much as they were for the AD20 in particular. And then they were hand grinding in the blade steel, so you can see that right in there, showing 3V. Let's see how the centering is on this. Dead center as expected. Just get my own eyes on it real quick. Looks good. And yeah, in these early variants, I guess they had clip points. They were doing more no slot versions, which cosmetically I do prefer the slot. I have an example right here of a G10 8020 with the slot. But at the same time, it further illustrates the variation that Demco has done here. And just curious if the jimping's the same. Looks like the jimping's generally the same. Really interested on this shark's lock though. I gotta talk to the seller, because I don't think I got a picture of the top of that like that, and I don't think I've seen one. What better time to open up a few other variations? Let's see, let me find a few more 80-20 variations in particular. Where's the one I want? Here we go. So this one is a crew wear DLT exclusive. Gotta keep all my stuff straight here, so let me move some stuff around off screen. And this one does not have that. It is different than this. No, it's pretty much the same. So that one looks different. It's another 80-20 there. You can see the thickness. Let me pull out a variant that I was able to find of the AD20S, and it's sort of a relevant one for this video because it's one of few I've seen in a clip point, also non-slotted, but that's a good one to just throw out right now, and you can see the difference in the blade stock thickness. These are both G10 variants, but AD20S versus the AD20. Let's lay some of these down now. And I have one more 80-20 around here somewhere. Let me find it. And we'll get that one on the table too once I do. I actually have two more technically, but where did this one hide itself? Where did I hide it? Here's an 80-20S. 80-20S. Ah, it's not hidden. It is out of the box, which is why I couldn't find it, because I was looking for a box that was full. And this is just a brand new variant. Now this one is also one of the early ones with 3V, which is why I really I am glad to have two, even though these are both G10 variants. This one is a 20 CV and it was used and carried. This one's a brand new 3V variant, so kind of cool to have that. And we'll go ahead and clear out this 80-20S here, since this is the 80-20 show today. And probably help if I zoom in or focus the camera here. So DLT exclusive crew wear tan handle. This is the one that just came in. One of the originals, the 3V. I think the hardware is even a little different there. It's got, yeah, slightly different hardware than on these. That's how early on this one must be. 3V blade, full titanium. These are the full weight titanium. I'm super excited to measure this. Ooh, that's also cool. So all the other ones I think have a patent in there. I'll double check some of these here. But you can see that 17-4 pH, I think is what it says. And I've only seen that on knives that they said were very early variants. This one, I don't see anything at all in there actually, which is sort of surprising. This one has the actual patent written on it. Which one is this though? This is, oh, that's the 20 CV. So let's put that one at the top. And then this one is also blank inside there, so no patent written in there. So I think this one's pretty early one. This is the 3V variant. Okay. So you can see there's definitely some range, even in just the 80-20 model, in what they did. And I'm really curious to get this thing on the scale. So let's go there. Get everything moved over a little bit and make some room. I have to bring out my big boy scale today because these will not weigh in on my more sensitive scale. My sensitive scale goes up to 7 ounces, and these knives some of these are over 7. So G10 variant 6.2. The second one I think is heavier for some reason. G10 variant 6.3. G10 variant 6.2. Full tie. Gosh, that thing is a chunk of metal. Whew, 7.75 ounces. Not the typical everyday carry weight. Doable, but not ideal, I'd say. And that is just a very early variant of the shark lock, but as usual, everything is locking up super tight. I'm really curious about this shark lock. That is super interesting that it's all, like, I don't think that's a patina. I think that's intentional, or original, but I don't know. I'll have to get some eyes on that after this video and maybe even ask some friends for some help on that and see if that's how those were. See if that's just par for the course. So there is one more titanium variant, an 80-20 variant, that I would be remiss not to bring out in this AD20 video, which it's just, I mean, I just could not find one of these for the life of me for a while when I was on like Blade forums and eBay, and I finally got in on the Demco, both the Demco Facebook groups. For some reason there are two. I don't know the reason why. I got to find out. But there are two Demco groups. And oh, look at that. Super interesting. So this now makes me a little, I thought I had seen it before. I couldn't place it. So that is maybe just something they did on the, this is a 2021 Blade Show Magna Cut. Peanut, what do you call a slicer, I guess. I don't know if that's a clip point or the one they call the whale point. They've got all sorts of names for these things, but that thing is just a sweetie. But it also has that darkened shark lock. So let's see what the weight is on this compared to that 7.7. So this is 7.15, and it could even just be as simple as the fact that this thing has like some chunks sort of milled out of it. It could just be a little less metal, I don't know, because of the little pieces carved out, but I don't know. Also, you don't have thumb studs, and then this is a lot more slot. That one's non-slotted too, so this is a lot. Yeah, that's probably what it all comes down to. Gosh, now I'm really curious. I think I'm confident that this is a titanium scale and a metal, metal pocket clip. Titanium scale. Ooh, titanium pocket clip. That's really cool. I thought so. This one has some like bronzed hardware here too, which is, that thing is just so cool. So let's see if we can fit everything in here. And boom. So yeah, I actually even just have to weigh that in again. Just such a, it's, I think, the heaviest knife in my collection. I don't think my Medford even weighs that much. So 7.8 ounces. That is a beast. What a big knife. Almost half a pound. Almost half a pound of knife. That's awesome. What am I seeing? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look inside there, see if there's anything that sort of jumps out. Pocket clip unchanged. They've really been doing that same thing. They must have just poured that mold and said, we nailed it, because that is the same pocket clip they put on every single one of their knives that I have. It is exactly the same, I think. Couldn't tell you for sure, but pretty sure it's exactly the same. So I mean, I think the big thing that I'm looking at is I do really love the slot. So I wish this was a slotted one in a perfect world, but at the same time, getting a super early one, non-slotted, it's a pretty freaking badass knife like that. Pretty Rambo-y there. So I'm pretty pleased with it overall. I've been trying to find something like this, either an AD20S drop point, or even, I don't even know if they made the clip points in AD20S in titanium. I did find, that they did have some G10, and I think there's like even Grivery variants of the AD20S. But to get an AD20 full thickness, that is just pretty hardcore right there. That's pretty badass. So feeling good about it. Would I ever carry this knife? No, not for me. I think someone absolutely could and should. But for me, this is a collector through and through. And yeah, super excited to have it. So this really opens up the opportunity to do this video I've been wanting to do. Let's maybe go G10, G10, G10. I sometimes like underestimate how good that slot is for like a rollout deployment. It really does a nice job on the rollout there. Here is your new addition to the team. And then the custom, the Magna Cut. What a beast that is. So it looks like I actually have more room. So I'll space them out a little here. Yeah, these are all the clip points I have in full size. I also have clip points in the AD20S in a few options. For instance, there's Buddy for you. And I have some drop point variants and stuff, but this is the clip point show today. I guess this technically isn't, but it kind of almost has like a modified clip point. So we'll give it a pass because it's amazing. Demco tends to do a lot of work with 3V in general. Blade steels that are like high carbon, high strength, like he just did the M4. I just picked up the M4 slicer where it has kind of that slicer plus a shark's foot. But, you know, various blade steels like M4, 3V, crew wear and so on that aren't as high ranked on the stainless side. I don't know if that's, you know, builder location or what, but there are also a ton of S45V and CPM 20V and M390 and others that have been put out. So don't get me wrong. He does work with stainless steels as well. When I say he, I mean Andrew. There's John Demko also that's involved in the business, but I always think of Andrew from a design perspective and stuff. You know, Magna Cut here on the customs. I'm so eager to see if they start bringing out Magna Cut. If they come out with Magna Cut on the AD20.5, that thing just becomes the ultimate EDC. That would be so sick. So let's set aside a few of these here and then also bring out, in fact, we'll leave this guy out. We'll just bring out what I think is a pretty cool clip point variant. They did this, Timascus. That is just pretty unbelievable. And we'll just throw that in here. Let's keep the AD20 here, or AD20S rather. Throw that in here. Yeah, let's put this one over here, and then we'll bring in the, that's where I was really going with this. The tie textured AD20.5, and the reason I like the idea of bringing this out is because they're actually pretty different, and I've mentioned this before on some of my videos, but it's kind of a matte and like a little more of a prickly finish on the AD20.5, a little more of a working finish, if you will, and more of a polished or satiny finish on the AD20 and AD20S variants. So I like it a little more. It's still plenty grippy, but a little easier on the hands, which is nice. So let's get rid of everything that's not titanium now. What we'll do is bring out some more titanium stuff that I picked up along the way. And I was really on the journey to find that particular knife, but I did end up crossing paths with some really cool knives along the way. So let's lay some of those out as well. As an example, this is the AD20S in the shark's foot. And smooth titanium, drop point, AD20S. Never have enough room for these massive Demcos, I swear. Let's put this over here. And I'll put this big guy over here. I'll make this little small knife land over here. And then also in more of a matte finish, the shark's foot, AD20.5. You can really see, again, some of the contrasted materials that Demco's put out these knives in, and there are so many more. So I'm going to be doing an all Demco video. It's going to be a marathon, not for the faint of heart, but I'm going to go through everything you can imagine, from blade steel to what I've seen for blade. Let's see, we're going to do blade steel, handle materials, blade shape, production locations. We're going to do exclusives, customs, and really just kind of share everything that I've learned along the way. They're always changing, always bringing out new stuff. They brought out a couple new knives just in the last week since I started getting ready to do this all-in video. So they really keep you on your feet. You never know, you might even find something like a D2 in the full size, or I guess, yeah, I don't know if they did a D2 in the full size, but in the AD20S for sure. Like this one here, no slot. They just do so much different stuff that it's going to be fun to do a more comprehensive video across all of Demco, and that's really what I was planning to do with this collection. As I put it together, it's taken a lot of time. I required a lot of help from others, and now we're really close to being able to put out that all Demco video, so that's super exciting. So I'd be on the lookout for that on the channel. Try and get that out here in the next few days, and then hopefully kind of move on to the next thing. So I'll probably be selling a bunch of Demcos. Once that video's done, feel free to be on the lookout or hit me up if there's something in particular that you like. There are certainly going to be a bunch that I keep, but some others that I have duplicates of, like I have a lightweight and a full weight on the textured tie, and I think I have a smooth shark's foot I could see letting go of as well. So there's just enough out there that, you know, I want to put some of these knives back in the community. I just wanted to learn about them, get to know them, see what I loved, what I liked, what I didn't like as much, and now I can move them on to other buyers that might want to have these in their collection or even just check them out. So super thrilled to have this beauty in the collection. Long time coming here. But something that really I wanted to have as a centerpiece of my Demco collection, and that is exactly what it is quickly doing here, is becoming that centerpiece, that sort of de facto. When you think of an AD20X variant, I mean, that's the original, that's the GOAT, that's the big machine ground. This was, you know, not just a custom, but something that they were putting out, not in a huge volume, but you know, you could just get these off of websites and stuff. A little harder now. They've come out with like the AD20i, the International Italian CPM 20 CV variant. I think they're in G10 to try and increase the volume. But in the meantime, you know, this is where it all comes down to. Is this is the one that got it started. This is the one that got people like, whoa, that is a cool pocket knife. It's so funny that it's like a pocket knife, because it's just one of those ones that does not feel like it. It feels in hand every bit like a fixed blade. It just has that robustness. Really cool. So that's all for now. Super excited to have it. A long time coming, and if you enjoyed the video, or even if you need to just correct, please like, subscribe, comment, just let me know what's up, and I will see you on the next one. All right, take care.